Hello, everybody. Konnichiwa. Good evening, good morning, tonight, to whoever you may watch this. As we look towards the summer of New Japan Pro Wrestling, kicking off with Dominion. Dominion has been a standout when it comes to power struggles, classic rivalries coming ahead, changes in titles, standout performances, and people making their mark and putting their name in the history books. Whether it's Manabu Nakanishi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, Sho, Shingo, Moxley, you name it. There have been endless shifts and memories, and Shaka's made in Osaka at the shadow of its castle, too, over the last 12 years. And once again, we go at it as NJPW's Dominion is before us, mere hours away. With that being said, my name is Noah Foster. I'm just a simple man. It's been a long time since I've done a New Japan Simple Take with work and school and everything, but with the summer of wrestling being ahead of me and a lot more free time, I couldn't think of a better start to my summer of pro wrestling with New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. That being said, it's another stacked card, some interesting circumstances that have changed when some of these matches are occurring, which is why they're occurring now. Let's go ahead and get right into the card. And maybe I'll give my brief thoughts since everything that's happened since the new beginning as well. So that's my last video. So the first match we have here is a star-studded 10-man tag as the 6-man never overweight tag team champions. Tomohiro Ishii, Stone Pitbull, Headhunter Yoshihashi, and of course, Roppongi 3K's Sho, and Hiroki Goto and Hiroshi Tanahashi. This in New Japan, they take on Bullet Club in a 5 dance with Chase Owens, Taishi Ishimori, ELP, Evo, and Tokyo Pimp Yojiro Takahashi, who I'm sure is still missing Pita. This will be, of course, a match, 1 fall, 30-minute time limit, and you got to consider a number of circumstances here. Got former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. If Bullet Club wins, because they put the name towards that hat. You got a combination of people here that can pursue the tag team titles, and Bullet Club is no stranger going after the IWGP 6-man tag titles in 2 Bullet Club combinations, falling to defeat. As since Yoshihashi has claimed this gold after 12 years of a pursuit and a dream, he has not let up and let this gold off either. And honestly, this might be the most effective trio as 6-man never overweight tag team champions in probably New Japan Pro history, because they bring it, whether it's against their own Bullet Club, you name it. Of course, coming off most recently, their big 6-man tag title win against LIJ with Yoshihashi pinning Bushi. That being said, I know that Hiroshi Tanahashi's got big aspirations to one day get back the neverweight title currently held by Switchblade Jay White, who will not be involved with the show here. And I look at everybody involved in this, and I feel like right now it's going to go in favor of the Chaos faction and Hiroshi Tanahashi. As we head towards into not the G1, but Summer Struggle and Kasuna Road, I sense that Tanahashi's going to make his way back towards the never Openweight Championship. And the 6-man champs, they're going to continue to roll. But I feel Bullet Club is going to try and fill them out again and not leave those towels just laying in wait. But for now, I got the Chaos team going forward with Tanahashi. As we go from there, we go into a 6-man tag as we have Los Ingobernables de Japón represented by Tetsuya Naito, Bushi, and Sanada. They take on the Suzuki-gun trio, now known as Los Locos Dangerous Tekkers, in the new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, finally crowned after a 6-month saga, it seems, in the Holy Emperor Taishi and Submission Master Saxby Jr., and of course, their wild third in Doki. The Doki Chogi. I hope I see that. With that being said, I know that's not Bushi and Naito. They are just coming off, again, that 6-man tag title loss. You got to wonder, though, Sanada and Naito can use this opportunity to maybe go after the heavyweight tag team championships held by Dangerous Tekkers, who have already challenged every team out there in New Japan since the borders are closed. Come face us with the best tag team in the world. Well, why not try and get some new competition right underneath your own home turf? So with that being said, and thinking about how Naito is always tranquilo, I am actually going to go with Naito and Sanada bouncing back from that recent loss in the 6-man where they weren't involved in the decision and maybe pursuing tag team gold, because that would be something as a first for Tetsuya Naito, who seems to be just doing everything and anything at this point, coming off recently beating Great Khan in a singles affair, in a series of mind games, and I got to wonder what he thinks about one of his others in the main event, which we'll talk about shortly. But I got LIJ going over here. If nothing else to set up, Dangerous Tekkers, maybe first challengers down the line. During the Summer Struggle, too, possibly. Now we move into our title bouts. First title bout of the night. As after it was delayed due to COVID restrictions. Again, everybody be safe, be smart. If you choose to get vaccinated, that's purely up your discretion. I got Moderna, so there you go. As finally, Roppongi 3K's Yo, since coming back from injury, and of course, Roppongi 3K reclaiming the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions from Suzuki-gun's El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and successfully defending them in a rematch clause 2 that led to Yo getting this opportunity. He finally faces, and ironically, his first title defense, El Desperado for the gold, who of course achieved double gold in the very beginning, winning this title back in a triple threat back at Castle Attack in a tremendous affair, pinning ELP. With that being said, El Desperado has taken 7 years to finally achieve this feat, and this is his first title defense. The last time this title was actually defended before El Desperado actually won it was when Sho, the partner of Yo, took on ticking time bomb Hiromu Takahashi. Of course, Hiromu was injured, and that match went over 30 minutes. There's always something special when the junior heavyweights get a showcase when they're not even in the top of the card, but they can try and steal the show. With Yo's determination and drive since coming back from injury, I think this is going to be an amazing match. And while we have had shakas in Osaka, I purely think that El Desperado is going to retain here. Again, it's his first title defense. Right now, it's mostly like, hey, Yo, can you do what Sho couldn't do? If either man was going to become champ first, I've been rooting for Sho for the longest time being, in my opinion, the heavyweight of the junior heavyweight division. So with that being said, I know he's going to root on for his partner, but I got El Desperado getting the win here. And while Yo has had a tremendous run since his recovery from injury, I feel like right now everything's in favor of my faction in New Japan, Suzuki-gun. So with that being said, I think El Desperado is going to retain. Moving on from there, we go into a very personal match, it seems, that might have been over a year in the making since last year's G1. As Jeff Cobb, representing United Empire, he takes on Golden Star Kota Ibushi. Impromptu asked for this challenge after literally delivering a tour of the islands after Kota Ibushi lost the newly minted IWGP World Heavyweight Championship back at Sakura Genesis against Will Ospreay. And then when he returned from that, it was April 29th, where this match was made official. Because basically Kota Ibushi wants to face somebody he feels like is really like him, but can surpass him in every way. He wants to face an Olympian, someone he thinks that's superhuman. As Jeff Cobb now is alluding to, he thinks he's better than Kota Ibushi because he thinks his finish is more effective since he's applied his own knee strike, the Kaba Goye. And damn, did that thing lay out Kota Ibushi May 26th. That being said, we know how effective the Kamagoye is, especially when the knee is down. But this is going to be a grudge match, to say the least, and I sense it going longer than the G1 affair that went 10 minutes. With that being said, looking at who could be going in with momentum towards the summer struggling, what else it could ensue, and I'm sure that Kota Ibushi wants to eventually get back what he originally was trying to the legacy for too. I think looking at the history of the United Empire and their singles matches, including ex-Aaron Henare coming off a loss to Sonata, they're going to show incredible fight, grit, determination. But I feel that, like the United Empire has in all their singles affairs, besides their leader, I think he's going to fall short to more than one Kamagoya. That's how they're going to protect him, intestinal fortitude. But I got Kota Ibushi, the Golden Star, going over here. In my opinion, Kota Ibushi, I definitely see him going back after the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And that's really all I got to say about that. Which leads us to our main event. When you think about the legacy of Dominion and you think about all the upsets, changes in balance and power, who has been the guy that's been main eventing these things more often than others on the winning side, I might add, with really only one loss to his Dominion main event credit. He beat AJ Styles in 2015. He beat Tetsuya Naito in 2016. He went to a 60-minute draw in what became a trilogy with the cleaner, Kenny Omega, only to follow Omega the following year. And then after that, bounced back, and he beat Le Champion Chris Jericho. And of course, he wasn't involved last year because it was Evil and Naito, as Evil was part of Bullet Club officially. With that being said, I am talking about the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, taking on Rampage Dragon Shingo Takagi for the now vacant IWGP World Heavyweight Championship since Will Ospreay is injured. Let's go back in time and think about this saga, shall we? So this really goes back to when these two first met in last year's G1, where Okada won via the money clip because Shingo could not take it anymore. One of the closest matches to a 30-minute draw that I've ever seen. Then Shingo, he went back against Okada this year during the New Japan Cup in what was probably one of the biggest upsets for people. Since then, Shingo has continued to impress and go up from there until he lost to Will Ospreay in the grand finale of the New Japan Cup, which eventually led Ospreay into beating Kota at Sakura Genesis for this new title. But then he called out Ospreay, who called out Okada as he tried to avenge the loss back at Wrestle Kingdom, in what was a tremendous match too. Next thing you know, at Wrestling Dontaku, these two tore it up incredibly as Shingo Takagi was on the losing end again to Will Ospreay for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship this time. It was probably one of the best matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling history, but it didn't come without a heavy toll to pay, as Will Ospreay, again, due to injuries beyond medical clearance, he has to vacate the title. So here we are. When it was going to be originally Ospreay versus Okada revisited, it is the Rainmaker finally back in that main event spotlight to maybe get what's rightfully his, and that is that championship top spot versus the guy that people keep rooting for and thinking eventually he will be champion and deserves to be champion. One of these two will lead into the summer struggle as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, where truly I feel like everything resets and changes. So that being said, who will claim dominion in what truly is a rubbers affair, as these two are one-on-one against each other? We have seen how far both these men can go. We have seen how far both these men are driven. We have also seen how far Kazuchika Okada can go as champion. Do we finally usher in a new era once again while Okada still figures out himself, but eventually said he will make a reign again? Or do we put Okada back in that top spot where truly it is where he is meant to be, in my opinion, and we see this match maybe visit some point down the line? Maybe Shingo wins the G1 this year and goes see Okada at King of Pro Wrestling or at Wrestle Kingdom. Imagine Shingo Takagi versus Okada as a Wrestle Kingdom main event. I can see that happening. That being said, I have gone back and forth tremendously with this match, and I look at every aspect that could happen here, especially with Shingo coming into Summer Struggle last year as the Neverweight Champion, losing to Minoru Suzuki. And, of course, Okada introducing King of Pro Wrestling at this time last year into Summer Struggle as well. With that being said, I have to go with, I think Kazuchika Okada, since last year, January, is finally going to get his head on track and get back into the spot where, honestly, everybody in New Japan and above probably thinks he belongs. I think Okada is going to finally get the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and lead New Japan Pro Wrestling and make it rain this summer. Only for Shingo Takagi to win, in my opinion, the G1. Shingo Takagi is my pick. You're hearing it now to win the G1 this year. And you build this match towards Wrestle Kingdom, give Shingo the moment there. It was this year, of course, at Wrestle Kingdom where Shingo gave us a hell of a match defending the Neverweight title. This guy has done it all. It has truly been a standout since coming over from Dragon Gate, and in my opinion, deserves to be world champion. But I feel like right now they're going to put it on Okada because he has always been the guy in that company. So with that being said, those are my thoughts as we look towards NJPW's Dominion. That is just mere hours away, a little under 12 hours away, as it will be 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live with English commentary. A pretty short card stacked up, but I got to say, this is going to be a very interesting affair. And it makes me wonder if Okada does lose, because I can see this match going either way. There can't be a draw. There has to be a winner. What happens to Okada then? Because it seems like he's just been coasting, you know? Hey, Mark, good to see you. I'm a huge Okada fan, but I'm leaning towards Shingo, but I haven't fully made up my mind. Well, you got plenty of time, man. And again, this match, you can flip a coin and still be wrong, because that's how close I think this match is going to be with these two. And I cannot wait for this and watch it live tomorrow morning. But that being said, those are my simple picks. I think the champions are going to retain. We're going to see LIJ go after Suzuki-gun for the heavyweight tag team titles. And as we enter Kasuna Road and Summer Struggle, which eventually leads, of course, into the G1 since Wrestle Grand Slam got delayed, I pretty much think that that's what's going to be going on. And I'm curious who's going to stand out, who's going to show up when the borders do open too, because you know we're going to get surprises eventually too. It was back, of course, in 2019 where Moxley, Shingo, and Kenta called their shots to be in the G1, and basically you had 3 additional heavyweights. And I got Desperado retaining, but what did Yo do for this title shot? Just wondering. So basically, when Yo returned, Sho and Yo challenged the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions at the time, Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado, and they beat them. Since that time, they asked for this. They asked for a rematch for those titles, and in victory, if they won, El Dorado said he would give Yo this opportunity. Since that rematch happened and Roppongi 3K successfully defended the gold, El Dorado was a man of his word, and it was honored. So Yo got this title match, which was originally supposed to happen at Tentaku, but due to COVID, it got postponed. So there you go. It's really funny how everything's unfolded since the new beginning. When you think about the New Japan Cup, when you think about the rise of the United Empire and Aaron Hanare joining the United Empire, you think about Sakura Genesis and this new title, new era that basically rises, evolution, and legacy, merges them into one. Oh, I still have thoughts about that still to this day. And then, of course, we had Sasuma no Kuni and Dotaku and everything else between. It's been a wild few months for New Japan Pro Wrestling, to say the least, which still, of course, is my number one in pro wrestling hype and delivery, especially with the Stone Pit Bull. Seriously, I want the Stone Pit Bull to go after that world title. But with that being said, I hope that answers your question, Mark. If you have other thoughts or questions, let me know, as I'm just spattering on. But those are my brief, simple takes and thoughts as we head into Dominion. And I will be back with a simple take following the show, too. Love to hear your thoughts, predictions, opinions, and outlooks, what you think awaits for New Japan Pro Wrestling in the summer as well. Absolutely, I completely forgot he promised him that. He definitely kept his word. I can't believe I forgot that. LOL, I knew that, too. Well, Mark, that's why I got your back, brother. Again, we watch All Things Wrestling. Shout out to AW Family on Twitter. And shout out to Team NJPW, too. With that being said, folks, go check out Mark the Griff Reviews on Twitter. Go check out Team NJPW on Facebook. And if you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Foster1916, Instagram for positive reprieve in your day, and at Foster1916. And keep following the Simple YouTube channel here, youtube.com/C/NoFoster10 for all things wrestling. And shout out to the AW family on Twitter. I really wonder what other surprises might await us, too, at Dominion, which has always been known to deliver those, too. What sort of set will we get towards maybe the Neverweight title with the champ not even there? Will someone maybe go after KOPW again, too, held by Yano? Friggin' Yano! And again, as we look towards now who will hold New Japan at the highest rank, holding this title, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, what awaits that person heading into the summer? Will this be the last time these two confront each other? Highly unlikely in all likelihood. This year. Will this come back around through the G1? Only time will tell. But again, those are my brief thoughts. So follow me on those platforms. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And as always, I like to close. There are no winners. There are no losers. There are no bears. There are just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, and just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Simple as that. Again, folks, we will see what happens tomorrow. I will be back with a simple take. That's all I got for now. So again, arigato to all of you that listen. Take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find some promotion company, something that can connect with you. I'll be back later this week with content regarding NXT TakeOver in your house, Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds, and so much more, too, as June, we're just getting started. And that is a serious thing, too. Thanks for tuning in, and until the next video, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go again, yo, and sayonara.